Hi everyone! Today I'll be showing you how to make your own Halloween decorations with the xTool M1 Ultra. If you're like me and like to draw your designs on your tablet, then this tutorial is perfect for you. Go ahead and draw your design, but make sure your lines are nice and solid like this. When you bring your designs into XCS, it makes it easier to delete all the white areas of your design. Then you'll export your image. You could save as a PNG without the background, but I like to save as a JPEG because the quality is a little better. Here I'm putting in the inkjet module, and it's really easy to connect, even for someone like me who can really only use one hand. Now when you bring your image into XCS, you'll need to edit it. Because of my nice solid lines, I can easily delete all the white areas. You can simply click on all the white areas to delete, and for anything you need to erase, you can use the little eraser tool. Technically, you could save each part of this design as its own file, but I think this trick makes it a lot easier and simpler to separate each part of your image. Just copy and paste, erasing each part of your design until you're left with just one asset. Then you're free to move it around and adjust everything individually. This will also make it easier when we create the outlines later for the laser cuts. You can see here that I'm erasing all the parts of the design that I don't want, so I have individual pieces to move around. This will also make it easier to resize things and fit them more closely together on the canvas to save space. Now just put everything together and figure out what size you want for everything. With my design, instead of printing the words, I opted to engrave them because I really want them to stand out. I like the preloaded fonts that come in XCS, so I chose one that fits, and I'm adding text over each part of my design for when we switch over to the laser. To keep the same font, you can just copy and paste and then edit the text that you put over each design. Later, we'll add some settings to engrave this, but for now, we're just figuring out the placement for everything. I also want to add some holes so that I can string all my pieces together when it's finished cutting out. So same thing here, you just make a small circle and you can copy and paste it everywhere on different parts of your design. You could leave these out and technically glue some string or a thread behind all of your pieces, but I like how it looks together, strung with some clear fishing wire. Here you need to make sure that you line up your design with the crosshairs and make sure that the crosshairs are in a good spot on your wood in the machine. And definitely make sure to frame. This way you can check to make sure your printer has enough clearance to print and not hit any of the magnets. Here I'm just making sure that the printer head has enough room to print without hitting any of the magnets and that I have enough space for my design. Always make sure to frame. Now I did end up moving that back left magnet back to make some more room for the printer head. The magnets are important to make sure your material doesn't move between printing and laser cutting. For my design, I chose 90% intensity, but you could always choose a lower intensity and do multiple passes. Let's take a peek. And looks good. Now I can easily switch out the ink module for the laser head. Again, easy enough to do with just one hand. Make sure to leave the crosshairs somewhere on your material so you can detect the distance before laser cutting. Now after we've printed, we can put in all our settings for the laser parts. I'm putting in my settings for the engraved parts and creating outlines for each individual asset of the design. I like having some of the wood showing, so I left some space around each design, and you can change that in your settings when you go to outline each piece. I like to uncheck the box to make sure that it only outlines the outside, except for the pumpkin where I want to create an outline inside the handle area for it to cut out, so I made sure to leave that box checked. And you'll see me right there, leave that one checked so you can cut the outside and the inside of the pumpkin. Once everything's good, I move all the outlines to one layer so I can adjust the power and speed for everything all at the same time. And once you're done, make sure everything is set to output, all the engraved parts and all the lines. The multifunction ability makes projects like this so much easier on the M1 Ultra. I love that you can make your own decorations in a matter of minutes really, instead of buying them all at a store. Wood crafts like this are really popular lately and you can see them at a lot of different craft stores, so why not just make your own with your own machine? It's so satisfying to be able to make your own designs and customize everything for yourself as well. And all done. Looks good. Now since I have those holes, I went ahead and strung everything together with clear fishing wire. And here is the end result. Store quality decorations made right at home with your xTool M1 Ultra.